So this upcoming Thursday, which is just a couple of days away, Frank is going to be doing a webinar on how to get into real estate offices, infiltrate them, and then how to turn that into business. You want to check this thing out, guys. It's going to be great. All you have to do is click this banner right over there, or click it right up above on Facebook. Don't forget, this is brought to you by Angel Oak. Moving on. Now, Liz Warren, she's urging Jenny May to look into lenders that are aggressively targeting service members and veterans for risky, quick-turn refinances. Notice all this language here, guys?
Yeah, now Liz made the recommendation to Jenny May because of complaints made by veterans to the CFPB stating that they were being targeted by aggressive solicitations from lenders to use one of the VA programs.
One of the VA programs. I got news for you guys. I know there's more, but there's really just one that they're using here, isn't there?
Right.
But it sounds better, though, when you say one of the programs, because it makes it sound like lenders are, trying to deceive vets, bait and switch.
Right. Warren's letter to Jenny May noted that market analysis by JP Chase showed that certain VA mortgage servicers are significantly more likely to churn loans, which is the practice of convincing an existing borrower to refinance their mortgage.
Convincing them, talking them into it. Now, lenders, Warren is really painting a picture of you, and I got news for you. It ain't good. Aggressive, targeting, risky, churning, different VA loans. It's really a bait and switch, right? Man, I gotta tell you, you lenders based on her, you sure look like a bunch of...
Michael Bright, the chief operating officer of Jenny May, says, "We are seeing more early payoffs than usual, supporting the allegations made by the CFPB and reinforced by Elizabeth Warren, supported by JP Chase Analysis and Jenny's COO, Michael Bright. The conclusion is you lenders are shamelessly targeting veterans for personal gain and screwing them, or,
rates just went down like they have, and a rate reduction refinance is just going to save that vet money. And you're really not a dick at all. You're just helping them out."
Well, guess who doesn't want to see early Jenny May VA payoffs?
Who?
That'd be anybody who's funded or is servicing a Jenny May VA loan.
You're totally right.
Yeah, they don't like it.
No, they don't.
No.
The vet, if rates drop and they can make their payment go down and it makes sense to them, and one more thing, that's how the damn product was designed.
Yes.
By the likes of Warren and Jenny, then all the lender is doing is bringing that value to the vet.
Yeah, when Warren and the CFPB come out with these type of crazy and misleading statements at the expense of lenders, either they don't understand how the product is designed and functions, or it's another press clipping and talking point to be used on their next run
Totally.
for president and governor and whatever.
Totally.
And if you don't like how lenders are using the product, then change the guidelines.
Yes, change the guidelines. That's what you need to do if you don't like how it's functioning. Hold on, let me think. Okay, I got it. How about this? If Elizabeth Warren and Jenny, if they don't like, and the CFPB, if they don't like early VA payoffs on rate reduction refinances because it's bad for the veterans, I got it. Then put a 1-year soft prepayment penalty on the product. Problem solved.
What?
Seriously, it would work. What? Oh, I see. You can't have a prepayment because those are bad, right? They're bad. But according to what I'm hearing here, an early payoff is bad too, right? Because of all you seedy lenders. Well, listen, guys, you can't have it both ways, Warren. You gotta pick one. And if you can't, then you don't know what you're talking about. You're just trying to get headlines, so zip it.
When a problem comes along, you must zip it. Zip it good.
Hey, check this out. This is great. Everyone's saying that the CFPB needs to stay, and the Equifax breach is proof of that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
Now, first thing, CFPB has been around for 5 years, and they were still breached.
Right, duh.
Okay, so this
anything.
begs the second question. What can or would the CFPB do besides fine Equifax? I mean, would that stop this from happening in the future?
No, it wouldn't. Trust me. Listen, guys. Equifax doesn't want their information hacked, with or without the CFPB. Now, the false groundswell of support for an out-of-control agency is picking up steam and gaining traction in the media right now, who's unwilling to look beyond the surface of the Bureau to see the carnage that they're actually laying. And here is proof in the pudding.
CBS just did an interview with 6 professors to discuss the validity and the need for the CFPB.
Professors are smart.
This is getting good.
Yeah.
Well, they all like it. In
Yeah, of
fact,
course.
one professor said, "It seems to me that the House Financial Services Committee Chairman Henseling believes in freedom, but only for big banks and financial institutions."
See, just like the lenders, he's a too. Just more of that, more vitriol, right? You only want to help the big banks. It's if you're against the CFPB, in Warren, you hear lenders targeting, aggressive, risky, churning. You see how the narrative is being manipulated by people with agendas.
Yeah.
Warren worked at the CFPB, guys. Now, thanks to them, we now know you lenders are targeting veterans. Oh, by the way, from the CFPB, where she's an architect and the first director of.
Yeah, now with CBS and those 6 professors who lament Warren's points.
Yeah, what about them?
4 of them worked at or are on the advisory board of the CFPB. It's kind of a stacked deck with an agenda, wouldn't you say? I mean, seriously, as the threat of revamping or removing the CFPB gets closer to reality, you're going to hear more stories like this from supporters of the CFPB who have an ulterior motive that, frankly, when looked at closely, are disguised as consumer protection. Yet in reality, it hurts consumers, your clients, your friends, and your family.
Now, what I want really everybody to get from this is this show is all about agendas. It's all about agendas. You have Warren who worked at the CFPB, and it serves her purpose to protect the CFPB, her baby, by throwing lenders under the bus. That's what's going on there. So everybody needs to understand that. Now, you have CBS, who is furthering the narrative by getting 6 professors to discuss how needed the CFPB is, where 4 of those 6 have been paid or are getting paid by the CFPB.
Yeah.
It's not a fair argument to be made. But the thing is all of this is thrown out for our consumption, and because most people aren't going to look beyond the surface, we're just going to believe it. But understand, these are people with agendas that don't necessarily jive with yours.
Yeah, and this whole thing about the rate reduction refis on the veterans, I don't know, man, but I just think out of, 9 out of 10 people, I would hope, or even higher than that, if I'm a veteran and I'm being presented a rate reduction refi, unless it's lowering my payment at little to no cost, right, I'm not going to go for that. I mean, but if it does lower my payment, then I will. And you're right. Well, maybe that has something to do with the fact that rates are once again the lowest they've ever been since ever.
Yeah.
Once again, and these things happen. So.
Well, and your rate reduction refinance was intended to be a benefit to the service person, so you could do exactly this. And are lenders out there targeting them? Absolutely. They're easy loans to do. There's nothing to them. That's the whole freaking point.
Right.
But you can do these at real no-cost loans. So again, the assumption is the veteran is too stupid to look at the paperwork and make a decision that's going to be in their financial best interest with a product that was designed to help them.
Yeah.
I just think that this is foolhardy, and again, it supports an agenda.
What do you guys think? Let us know your thoughts and your comments down below. You guys have a great day. Forward, share, and subscribe either up above on Facebook with a link or the big orange button on our website. We'll catch you guys later here at the National Real Estate Post.
Ciao!